Punters, dribblers, before we get into the formalities of this podcast, you must be aware that Dior hoodies and summertime hats going on sale this Thursday.
6 p.m. hellosport.shop.
Easy. These things, if you want to support the Dribbler United Party as we make our push for control of this country, we are needing to raise funds to push through some of the, the more ambitious policy that we're looking to get through. And so we need the support of the punter and the dribbler. And the hoodies and the hats is the way you do it.
It's fundraising for the Dribbler United Party. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
We need the funds to let your voice be heard.
We just want to shine. We just want to amplify your voices. This is just a couple of guys trying to amplify voices.
Let us amplify. Let us help the punter and the dribbler. Let your voice be heard. Let your needs be tended to.
Correct.
That's what we're trying to do. So 6 p.m. Thursday, hellosport.shop. Dior hoodies, charcoal, summer tan hats, obviously summer tan.
Last time any of these are going to be available.
Correct.
So
we won't do these again.
we won't do them again.
And I can promise you that. That's Scouts Honor stuff.
That's
you know
Scouts. I mean? Is that Scouts Honor? Scouts Honor? Is that a Scouts Honor thing? Is that what you do? Scouts Honor?
Is that it? Scouts Honor?
Scouts Honor?
Scouts Honor.
No, you need the thumb as well. Scouts Honor.
Oh, like.
Scouts Honor. Whatever. Merch, Thursday, 6 p.m, hellosport.shop.
You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
All right. Welcome back to Hello Sport Podcast. Some of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Back on Monday, the 16th of May, I believe, 2022. In the year of our Lord and Saviour, St. Peter Volandis, back from the Magic Round du Magique, Eddie. We flew up Friday, or at least me and Tobler and Sebo did. You came up Saturday. I have to take a moment to just pat the NRL on the back and the bum simultaneously and just say congratulations, because it's a rip snorter of an idea.
It is a great idea. Good morning to the punters and, of course, the dribblers. It's a fucking great idea, and it's a great location because Caxton Street, specifically the Caxton Hotel, one of the great pubs.
Shout out to the Caxton. Shout out to Sterling, who... he's fucking...
I think he owns it.
He owns the joint.
So, he opened doors, made sure our wheels were greased.
Well, listen, we basically now are we basically planted a flag in the less great state of Queensland. And I say less great in comparison to New South Wales, which it just doesn't hold a candle to, and I'll never change my mind on that. But, you got to have a flag planted somewhere.
We need to have a home up north, Tom.
Yeah.
And the Caxton now are home up north, officially. Sterling was more than happy to fucking agree to that. He welcomed us with open arms, Tom.
Well, listen, you got to get up there and you got to kiss the ring of the... Not kiss the ring, that's an
shake the hand.
You got to shake the hands of people in power in certain areas as you intend to take it over.
Yeah. Look, you come in bearing gifts and then all of a sudden you fucking own the joint.
You Trojan horse them with a handshake and then you go over there and you just start going, I think I like this place. No, but it was also, we got to do a potty with the... Apologies for my voice, firstly. I'm sorry.
It must be clear to those now that Tom not made the right stuff.
Listen, my voice has never been capable of just non-stop ripping and tearing, like it just will give up because I'm loud and I talk a lot and I'm just dribbling with dribblers fucking for 2 days straight in loud spaces. My voice goes. So I apologise for the rest of this show. It might be tough to listen to, but you know what, man? Like, we're all digging deep today. Shout out to the Bloody Brilliant Beers podcast, fellas, Das and Klutz. They basically are living the dream of dribblers in Queensland. You've got the Caxton, which is like the biggest pub in the fucking country, most famous pub in the country. We're trying to work that out. Is there one more famous? I don't think so. But they do their podcast from there. We did one with them, and they basically just run. They just do whatever they want. They're respectful, but they just can do whatever they want in the Caxton, and it seems like quite a nice little place to be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah, it does. It seems, if you're going to pick a place to be able to do whatever you want, probably the Caxton. You can sort of do whatever you want at the Caxton, which was refreshing.
We could.
Well, we could.
Well, but actually, it did seem like just like general pub vibe, way more relaxed, dude.
Yeah. It's another reminder, and I've had the same thing when I've gone to Melbourne, that this city, as much as I love it, is red taped to within an inch of its life from a ripping and tearing standpoint.
Dude, they have bound and gagged the rippers and the tearers, or just even the nightlife of where ripping and tearing is done. There's ball gags stuffed into the mouth of anyone that wants to rip and tear, not in a fun way.
And it's funny, right? It's not until you leave the city that do you realise that you've had a ball gag in your mouth for however long the lockout laws. When did they start? 10 years ago.
2014.
2014. So since 2014. There's been 4 million ball gags at work.
Yeah, and it's kind of like altitude training, though. It's like once you leave the state that's fucking difficult to rip and tear in, and then you go to a state where they encourage it, you're like, oh, dude, I can get into my work again.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how badly, the gag was affixed to my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only is it allowed, it's encouraged.
And there's places to go, dude. Like,
well, there is, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's places open.
Yeah, till like all hours.
Till all hours. That's what I mean, right? Like, to be able to go somewhere after the place that you've just had closed, like, oh, that's all right, we're all going to this place that's still open. And it's not weird that it's still open.
I almost got like a bit of PTSD, like when we were going to the casino. And the guy was like, oi, mate. And I'm like, fucking here we go. He's going to march me over for like you've had too much to drink. He just goes, take your hat off. I'm like, yeah, I can do that, mate.
Yeah, I can certainly do that.
That's fine.
That's the least.
Oh, is that all I have to do? Sure.
You know what?
That's cool, dude.
Sorry, man. I have PTSD from having ball gags in my mouth down in Sydney. So I thought maybe I was getting arrested just for arriving at a venue.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really nice just to know that it was more just about a respect thing, and you just can't wear a hat inside. Whilst it's a dumb rule, I'll respect it because, trust me, it can be worse.
I like that you've got to show respect in the casino.
Yeah, of all places.
Of all places.
Show some goddamn respect.
Some people might be like, no, so they can see your face. I think it's more a respect thing.
Yeah.
I think that in Brisbane, they respect the sacred art of slapping pokies, which is basically all they have in the casino. There's like 4 tables downstairs, and I'm not taking the piss. 700-800 pokey machines.
Yeah, I think
all getting worked within an inch of their life.
I think they were saying there were more tables upstairs, but like I don't want to walk.
But I didn't see them.
No, but I don't want to walk into a casino and have it. I need to be slapped in the face with the reality that I'm in a casino. This just felt like I was in a huge pokey room.
Yeah, and
it was the wrong way around.
It was the wrong way around.
Have the pokies upstairs.
Exactly. Have the roulette tables as you're walking in.
Yeah, make me feel like I'm in a casino. Sebo even said it himself. He's like, I need some more like tropical bird shit. Like, make me feel like I'm somewhere else.
Where are the toucans?
Where are the toucans?
Where are the indoor plants?
Is there a fucking water feature in here? What the fuck's going on?
A car that you can win.
Yes. Yeah. Where do I leave the ticket to win the car?
I want to win that Lexus.
What that mounted Lexus over there? What have I got to do to win that? I've got to guess how many balls are in it?
Yeah. I mean, I can do that.
I can do that. It's filled with fucking ping pong balls. I got to guess the number.
I could do that.
Correct guess wins a Lexus.
Like, they've got to understand that when I walk into a room and it's full of pokies, I feel like I'm in a club.
Yeah.
Not a casino.
Not a casino. And I've been told to take my hat off. So if I'm walking in there asking and having been asked to have my hat removed, then I'm expecting a bit of Ritz.
Yeah. I would like Brisbane to just, if you're not going to fix it and lean into being a casino, then just change your name to the Brisbane Club and Casino. Because it would just give you a better
idea of what's going on and allow me to wear thongs in there if I want to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what, you can't wear a hat slapping the pokies?
No,
it was a bit disjointed.
Yes.
Look, it's not about the casino.
It's not.
It's about the weekend generally.
Everything's very central in Brisbane, I like. Like, in terms of the stadium, the Caxton, the Cass, you can do it all. Whereas in Sydney, the mistake that we have is that we go out to fucking ANZ Accor Stadium, ANZ Stadium out west for all our big ticket items that no one fucking like. And I'm not gonna harp on about it, but if we did a Magic round in Sydney and you tried to make people go to fucking ANZ Stadium, Accor, it just wouldn't work.
Well, that's why, Thomas, they wouldn't have it in Sydney for that very reason.
But you could do it in the East.
You could, but again, red tape.
Red tape. It wouldn't be fun.
If the year was 2013,
yeah,
and we had a Brad Spanker at Moore Park, you could do it easily.
You actually couldn't
easily.
The red tape is actually the biggest issue. You couldn't do it.
And the NRL knows the demo.
Yeah,
they know that the Heartland, the fan that's going to travel for a Magic round, have a little bit of, they need a bit of giveaway, a bit of leeway.
They've got to be able to rip and they've got to be able to tear.
Yeah.
No one wants to come into a state and have a ball gag shoved in their mouth. Unconsensually.
But Magic round, fucking good fun.
So good.
How did you go, Tom, Friday night?
Friday night.
I think you paint a picture.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there.
No, you weren't there. So Friday night we roll in and basically just went straight to the Caxton. Dropped that shit at the hotel, went straight to the Caxton. I'm trying to remember what the fuck we even did, mate. We just sort of met everyone. It was nice. Just got a lay of the land before Manly Broncos. Kempy was there in his fucking ghillie suit, the idiot, but he looked funny as hell. And then we all walked across to if I forget anything, Tobler, feel free to jog my memory. We walked over to the stadium. Again, at this stage, not everyone's it's 8, so no one's pissed. They're just all sort of get on their way. But it was heaving. It was a good vibe. Get to the Caxton and, the Caxton, get to Suncorp. And because Kempy's in a ghillie suit, the security comes straight over to him. They're like, excuse me, sir, come here. And we've just scanned our tickets through. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what are you wearing? He's like, oh, it's a ghillie suit. Yeah, it's a joke. She's like, this chick immediately radios her superior's going, we've got a man in full army fatigues here. And he's like, yeah, it's a joke. It's Magic round. People dress up. Yeah, it's all good. Eventually she's like, listen, I'm going to let you go, but everyone's going to have their eyes on you. So one mistake and you're in, And he's like, okay, yeah, no worries. Being super respectful, obviously.
But also you don't realise who's underneath this thing.
No, he took his hat off, but she still doesn't know who he is.
But I mean a guy who wouldn't hurt a fly.
No. But yeah, but also whose livelihood would rely on not being a dickhead at the footy. But as soon as she's like, okay, he then steps 2 meters away from her and he gets mobbed by 10 dudes who want a photo. So this chick's seeing, she's like, okay, I've just held up someone who's clearly famous and I didn't know who the fuck they were, and he's clearly not about to act like an asshole in his getup.
I can't believe his commitment to wear that to the footy, dude.
It was so good.
Did he pull his face back at all?
Only once we got up to the seats. So otherwise he was walking in a full ghillie suit too, and the whole way through. I also, shock horror, had no fucking idea where we were sitting. Even though I had the tickets on me, I didn't know.
But didn't you know when you bought them? It tells you.
I didn't pay any attention.
Of course you didn't. That's not your style.
It's not my style. I buy them, they're bought, I don't think about it. Then I go to scan and I go, oh, well, what gate are we? And it's but Campy, you could tell, is getting more and more pissed off with me because it's where are we sitting, bro? I'm in a fucking ghillie suit. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Here, look at it. And then I'm like, this is your town, bro. You tell me where we're sitting, which I think's slightly fair, if not fair at all. So we start following him, and then as we just keep getting higher and higher up the stadium, he's like, where the fuck have you bought these tickets for, bro? And I'm like, I don't know, Denon. I don't know where the tickets are. We are all the way up the very top, one row back from the back. One row back from the back, and it was hot as fuck.
Was it hot up there?
Dude, but it was hot generally in Queensland. Like, it is a muggy joint. I'm like, is that like as cold as Brisbane gets? I don't know. Like, will that ever do they get a winter properly? Do they wear jumpers in that town?
I don't know.
I was wearing my Manly 13 plus, and I was like, fuck, this is a commitment. It is hot.
It was humid. It was sticky as fuck. It was sticky. I don't know if it gets cold there. Quite frankly, I don't care.
I don't care at all. I don't care because I won't be back until next Magic Round, probably, respectfully.
Maybe in Origin.
Oh, actually, we'll be back for Origin. Anyway, we're up in the nosebleeds, and we took so long to get to find our seats that fucking Selwyn Cobbo had scored a try before I'd even sat down in my seat, and I was like, this is not giving me good energy right now. I feel trouble brewing. And as it turned out, Edward, trouble was brewing.
Oh, trouble brewed.
Trouble brewed, dude. So many people were like, are you doing the maths on this one, you fuckwit? I'm like, I'm not doing the maths on
people
this
were
one.
yelling that at you.
Where are you doing the NRL maths on this one, you fuckwit? I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm not sure that I can.
But like, look, if you push a certain narrative down people's throats long enough and the opposite happens, you've left yourself open for a licking.
Dude.
And that's part of the game.
No, you got to take it.
You got to be, if you want to lick, you got to be open to being licked.
Yeah. And there are some people out there that aren't. And you know what? That's on you and you're weak. But not me. I'm as strong as they come when it comes to licking. I was getting, and the Brilliant Beers boys would just happen to also have awful seats, and so they were sitting right near us as well. And I was just getting pounded from all angles. I had Broncos fans behind me, next to me, beside me, inside me. It just was like everywhere.
You know you're in the thick of it when you got Broncos fans in you.
Inside you, mid-game. We'll get to the specifics of Manly in that game later. The result is the result. The result is as the result was, Eddie. And I'm now preparing to exit the stadium where, probably 150,000 Broncos fans are also leaving at the same time. And I'm aware that I'm going to get licked, but I don't think there's any way that I could have prepared for what was coming because it was beyond what I was expecting by some margin. So as we're walking back to the Caxton, stopping for photos of Dribbles and stuff, which was fucking great. Firstly, shout out to everyone we met while we were up there. It was great. It was awesome to see you all. And that was really cool. Like, we'd never been pounded in the arse by Dribblers like that before. Felt nice. But sort of stopping with people here or there, just between the ground and the Caxton. And then there was just this one guy who we stopped for a photo with, and he kept going to his mate, "Oi, turn the flash on. Turn the flash on." And his mate's like, "I don't know how to do that, bro. It's your phone." And the guy would not listen to his friend who was like, "I don't know how to turn your flash on." And he just kept standing there going, "Turn the fucking flash on." And I'm standing there going, "Bro, this is on you. You turn the fucking flash on, you idiot." But as like it was funny. As he's doing it, more people just start gathering and seeing, like, what the fuck's happening here? Like, because we're just sort of loud. And then people just start to realise that it's me. I think I'm still wearing my 13 plus jumper. I don't know. And they all start, like, turning and abusing me. And they're, "Fuck you, you fucking Manly 13 plus." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go. Having a laugh with them all. And there's this one kid who's like, he's tiny, who just has sort of like self-appointed himself as like my bodyguard. And I'm like, I'm all good, bro. Like, it's fine. Everything's fine. But he'll start like going, "Oi, oi, oi," like telling people to get away from me and shit. I'm like, "Hey, bro, we're all good." I then, though, literally like get swarmed by dribblers. Like it's a World War Z thing or something. Or I'm like a Marvel, or like, in The Matrix when Neo gets swarmed by agents and then he like has to blow them all off. It was kind of like that, but it was Dribbles like, giving me noogies
without
and shit.
without the blow off.
Without the blow
You
off.
get noogies, dude. We get noogied.
Dude, you get noogied.
Oh my God,
Fuck
bro.
yeah. And I'm like,
Noogies? Holy shit.
yeah, bro.
Dude.
It was wild, but like just all over me. And then again, tiny security guard kid, like I'm fucking Kanye West trying to get from my car to a hotel. He's like, come with me, mate, come with me. And like, if you can't see it, you got to go to YouTube. Like putting his hand over my head and like trying to clear a path for me forward. And I'm like, get off me, bro. What are you doing? And he goes, I'll get us into the Caxton. Even though the brilliant Beers boys are like, run that joint, and I knew that they would be fine. Like I'd be able to get in with them. This guy's like, come with me, I'll get you in. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he gets me to the front of the line at the Caxton. He goes up to the security guard and goes, oi, this is it's Tom from Hello Sport. And the guy goes, who? I'm like, this fucking
Of course
kid.
he said who.
Of course he said who, dude. Of course he said who. And I was like, Jesus Christ, kid. Like, where's Darcy and Klutz? Where are the brilliant Beers boys? This is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, once I got through that little channel of like, World War Z level of like Dribblermania, it was then just all sweet. But it was that so funny. They're like, take your fucking licks. Take your fucking licks. And I was like, I got to take him here. I've got to take him.
Mate, the thought of you going through that solo is fucking funny.
That's what I kept doing, going, this Eddie, this piece of shit's just left me here taking grenades, dude. Taking grenades.
Mate, I wasn't there, punters and dribblers, because I was at a dear friend's wedding. Shout out to Max and Millie for a lovely, lovely wedding on Friday.
Congratulations.
Fucking terrific. It was lovely, right? To the point where almost everyone there was saying separately, but like saying to each other, like, that's love. Like, those two, the speeches and like the vibe and the energy, it was like love's love.
Right.
Like a pure,
Yeah.
a pure love.
Like,
you know?
if love were a physical being, it'd be like, oh, this represents me pretty well.
That's it. That's exactly right. And it warms the heart all the way up. And so when you're in that environment where pure love's on show, Tom, you're just in it. I was so in it that I didn't know what time it was. I didn't know like where the boys were at. And
Time stands still when love's
Time stands
about.
still, dude. And it got to like, I think it was like 10 o'clock, and I checked. I think I was with Gus Walker, who's a turncoat, but he's also a Broncos fan. He's like, check the score, and I checked it. It was 38-0, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought of me old mate Tommy. I thought, fucking hell, he'd be in the trenches, that poor cunt. And then as quickly as the thought came, it left. And I didn't give it another thought. I didn't give it another thought. And I just went and continued on with my life.
Straight back to it.
Straight back to it, dude.
You know
Straight
what? The
back
fact
to
it
it.
even came into your mind for a split second is, why we're such good friends.
That's, look,
It's sweet. It's sweet of you, mate. I appreciate it.
I did think of it. I did a quick swipe of the dribbler hotline, and it was really starting to heat up.
Yeah.
There was like 700 requests in punters and dribblers. I imagine all for the same reason. And I said, nah, you can wait. In fact, people would still probably be waiting.
Still waiting.
For admittance. Look, your time will come, but part of me just wants you to keep you waiting a little bit longer.
Well, it's been a lot going on.
You know what I mean?
A lot going on.
But I think that if anyone was going to be up to taking noogies and shit solo, it was you, dude. Like, I think we chose well.
I think
To send one man to the Wolves, I think we'd always send you.
No, I think you send me. I don't think you don't handle it well. I think you might have been overwhelmed.
Possibly.
And if it was you and me together, I'd be looking out for you, trying to make sure that you're okay. Whereas basically I just knew, all right, if I die, I die.
Yeah. And the show would have, you can be
The
sacrificed.
show wouldn't have worked anymore, right? Like, it would have been,
I think we would have carried on as normal.
I think you certainly would have tried to. I just don't know whether,
But you dying would give it the best, like.
I think it'd be the great way for it to end. is, killed by dribblers. Death by dribblers.
Death by Noogie.
He was noogie to death.
How'd he die? He was noogie to death.
Yeah.
Doing what he loved.
Well, technically not. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I loved meeting everyone. It was sick. Punters Dribbles, the podcast this week brought to you by our good friends at pilot.com. It's the online men's health toolkit. We get it. You guys know what it is by now. And there are so many things that Pilot can offer you. Now, soft dicks, boners, fucking the one that we want to talk about is weight. Now, Eddie and I obviously basically perfect physical specimens, but one of the great things that Pilot can provide is an opportunity for men who are wanting to lose a couple of kilos. Maybe you want to lose a fuckload of kilos. Fuckload is a unit of measurement, and I'm pretty sure that there are men out there that have fuckloads of kilos they want to lose, and maybe you're not sure about the best way to do it. We've got the way forward for you. Now, part of how they get fuckloads of kilos off of the fat boy frame is a thing, and I'm just reading it because I don't have a memory that is going to allow me to do anything but this, but it's called a metabolic reset program. It combines breakthrough medications, punters and dribblers, lowers your appetite, right? Makes you eat less, which is what us thickies can't help but do. So, with ongoing medical health support in conjunction with the metabolic reset program, they're going to get you skinny.
FLOKs, fuckload of kilos. You can lose them if you want at Pilot, because Pilot gets the needs and the wants and the desires of men. They also understand intrinsically, Tom, that men inherently don't love going to, the traditional GP or the traditional doctor setup to talk about these sort of things. They like the anonymity that Pilot provides.
Correct.
You can do it all online. You don't have to put yourself out there. You can get discreet advice and discreet medication delivered to your door. It's the modern way of medicine, baby, and it's tailored for men, which means that it aligns with how we are. And sometimes we like it to be subtle and under wraps, and so no one knows. But at the end of the day, if you want to shed a couple and you want to keep it to yourself, go to Pilot, mate. They're not going to tell a soul, and they're going to make it super fucking easy for you. Super, super easy.
That's right. Pilot.com.au/Hello Sport. Promo code is Dribblers. First doctor's consult for free. At the very least, it's worth your time to just get on there and get in touch and see what it's about. If you're even interested in seeing what it's about, the first doctor's consult's for free. So why the fuck wouldn't you do it? Then we went to the YKTR boys were up there, and they had a nightclub appearance. And they were actually at the Caxton as well. That's right. We were in there playing pokies. Simmy, one of the all-time great pokey machine snakeages. Sebo and I were pounding responsibly a pokey machine at the Caxton.
Mm.
Simmy was next to us. He was on one of the great hot streaks, it would seem. Every machine he touched turned to gold.
He's got that vibe about him.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Arsey.
Like a pokey whisperer.
Yeah. And so he's watching me and Seb sort of get into our work unsuccessfully. And then as soon as we finish the machine, we just go, fuck, that was no good. He just hops up, slides a fucking 50 straight into it, and had a feature in like the first 5 minutes he was on there.
He is an arsey prick.
He's an arsey
who
bastard.
Obviously the pokey gods have an affinity
Smile on
for.
him.
They smile upon him.
Yeah. They smile on some people.
Well, he's loved by the pokey gods.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
So that was good. But yeah, they had a nightclub thing. So we went and checked that out later on, and it was fucking pumping, dude. It was crazy. I haven't been to a nightclub for a minute anyway, but more just like from a, Jesus Christ, look how many people they've got at this nightclub thing. It was nuts. And then when I went in, as I said, as we went in, Tobler said, and I was like, I immediately felt like I was no longer cut out for the nightclub life. Like I was trying to,
How did you get that? Did you activate the hips?
No, I started moving a bit.
Did you remember
dude.
your old mate's advice?
Yeah, I could activate them. Don't worry about that. Like they can be activated.
Were they activated, Tobler? Were they activated?
To be honest, I left him and Sebo for a bit to go and find the boys to say g'day, and then I went over and then I was like, you know what? It is so sweaty and it's so filled with like young hot people that all want to fuck each other. I was like, Daddy's dick's been off the map for a good long while now, and
for a minute. It's been off for a minute.
And it's just not. I just couldn't be. I couldn't bring what the night deserved and what the people in there deserved.
Well, if you're going to go to a nightclub, there is a certain energy that one must bring.
Correct.
Particularly because it's very simple. So depending on the setting, right, there is a vibe in the room. There's like a minimum threshold that needs to be met just to enjoy yourself.
But also to add to the energy, right? If you've got too many people below the threshold,
but otherwise
it's just a weird vibe.
you're detracting for the energy,
which you don't want to do.
But B, you won't be in it. You won't be enjoying it.
Exactly. You won't become part of the energy.
Exactly. It's like if you're around. This is a great way to describe it. If you're around a heap of piss cunts and you're not pissed, you're just like, well, this is. I'm not
helping the situation.
This isn't fun for anyone.
No,
you got to be on the same level, otherwise it just doesn't work. So that's why you got to go in activated.
Yeah,
you have to go in activated.
To be fair, I may have also, had a little vegan vape, so I was easily overwhelmed, and.
Crowds will do that to you.
Crowds will do that to you sometimes, especially after you almost died by, dribbler licking. So, yeah, we went there. We hung out for a little bit. Said g'day to Lukey and Scope, and then fucked off to another pub around the corner and just had a little flutter on some late night English dishes. Again, responsibly, and yes, I won. Sorry.
Good for you, buddy. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
But then it was just through to the next day, Ed. That's when you came in. I mean, now I think I pass it back over to you, Mate, look, we nice and early flight.
I don't think this is going to surprise anyone, but I need to be honest. I was aware from Thursday onwards that I was getting picked up at 7 a.m. to go to the airport. I was aware of that. I knew it. I knew it was going to be a long, arduous trip. I knew that when we got there, I needed to be on. I knew that it was going to be a big night regardless. And you could argue pretty strongly that I should have penciled in time for Zs, time for Zs. Now, that's all well and good on paper, but there is a disconnect between what I should do and what I do, a big one. And I can't help myself. I've tried.
You're a glutton.
I'm a glutton for a good time. I'm just a glutton from a good time. Yeah. And so, when we get back to the room and dear friend Jack Freeman suggests, a bit of a dribble and a yarn, no topic off limits, we'll talk about space if you want. It's too much for me, dude.
Nebulas and shit.
I can't fucking say no to that.
We're getting into some Event Horizon rhetoric.
Dude, we're all over the map, bro. We're all over the map. And you know how I can go a little bit that way,
It's a bloody oath, mate.
And so I find myself, sliding into bed, much to Ella's dismay at 5 to 5. And then just laid there thinking about how I had to get up soon. And then the alarm went off and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, soon quickly became now.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What have I done? And then all I fucking could think about was the shocker I'd played. And I just stayed in the fucking shower, just absorbing it and preparing and just trying to dig fucking deep. As deep as I possibly could.
Mariana Trench work.
Have a shower, hop into the fucking car. I could tell the guys they test you out. Does this guy want a yarn? I think it becomes fucking clear as day that I'm not.
You're not that guy.
I'm not anywhere near being able to fucking yarn with you, bruh.
No, don't talk to me.
Just look.
Say g'day.
Look, I've got my sunnies on and it's 7 a.m. So read the room and leave me alone. Get up to the airport. I'm a fucking mess. I had to have a schooner just to settle me, just to fucking bring me down.
There's no judgment in the airport.
No, there isn't. Tommy called me and I was like, I bet you he's calling to check in, but also calling to make sure that I'm
that you're there,
that I'm there,
that you're not dead,
that I'm doing.
I was calling you from a nice soft bed, so I was able to sort of roll over and go, better check on the big fella.
Yeah. I was so rattled in the airport that I spent 3 minutes looking for my bag that I'd already checked in.
As I'm on the phone to him, he goes, dude, can't find my bag. Just realised I checked it in.
The guy who I bought the beer off, like, ran over, was like, mate, you didn't pay. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like, I'm all at sea here, bro. All at sea. But sometimes your efforts, because it was all for the punter and the dribbler, sometimes the gods will, shine favourably upon you. I had an exit row and no one was sitting next to me, so I could, like, lay down like a bed.
Oh, that's good stuff, Eddie.
Yeah. The fucking flight attendant had to shake me to wake me up. So, like, mate,
We're about to land.
We're about to land, dude. Fucking get your shit together.
Are you willing and prepared to help in an event of an emergency? Yes, I am.
Yeah, not a problem, sweetheart.
Yeah, you picked the right person here. Do I look capable to you?
I'm good to go, baby. I'm literally propped up against the exit door with my bag behind me.
They're going to need to drag you out of the way to get out of the plane.
I would look like a fucking mess. Literally, like, slumped up against the exit door like this for fucking an hour and a half. Had to shake me to fucking wake me up.
Yeah, you might be dead.
The thing about the plane is landing, I don't know if anyone realises this, but I think based on my own math, they do it 20 minutes out generally. We landed like a couple of minutes after she got me to wake up. So, like, that was probably not her first attempt.
No, yeah, she's going, oh, this guy still fucking hasn't moved. We might need to tape him to his seat. Restrain him.
Anyway, get to the Caxton, and Tom had been spinning me these yarns from the night before, being like, dude, it's fucking dribblers everywhere and shit. And I'm like...
I was just trying to get it across, so I'm going... Again, because of the type of because it was Magic Round and so many Rugby League fans had descended on the fucking Caxton, I was just like, dude, it's like any dribbler interaction we've had, but like with Dwayne The Rock Johnson levels of steroids injected into anything that you've ever experienced before.
So I was very fucking vulnerable. Like, I was like dreading hopping out of the car. I'm like, I just need to go upstairs and just get my bearings. And then I need a couple of beers. Thank fuck it wasn't bad at all. It was fine. Slipped upstairs. Beers were ready to go.
Well, that's it. Again, run of the mill.
And
we
felt
now know
very
the Caxton.
calm.
There was like a nice little upstairs. They don't have the upstairs open very often, or if at all, I don't know. But so we got to just sort of go upstairs and chill.
It's fucking dribbly up there, dude. It's like the decor is as dribbly gets. And the moment you see like these floral pattern couches that have probably seen like a fuckload of winters, and
plenty of rugby league seed, I'd imagine.
And exactly, like they would have been covered in rugby league nut, these things, but there was a comfort in that.
Oh yeah, no,
there was
absolutely.
a comfort in planting yourself down on couches covered in rugby league seed.
Yeah, premiership winning seed.
That's right, and just having a couple of
Origin
schooners,
winning seed.
having a couple of schooners, and then just sitting down to do a potty with the bloody brilliant beers, which was funny. Fucking
Darcy,
dude. He was so fucking hungover.
I've never seen someone so close to just looking like he was dead.
But you don't often see colour leave people.
He was as white as I've ever seen.
He was as white as a sheet.
And he was just sitting there, and then he was like, dude, I just keep throwing up. And it's like, all right. And so he'd go and boot, and then he'd come back and he'd sit down on the couch, and then the colour had just drained. Like his lips were white. You know, like his lips were just white as a goddamn ghost, which made his eyes pop even more. So it was like he looked either like a White Walker or like he was dead.
If you just put him into a zombie movie without any makeup, you'd buy him as like a zombie.
You could win Oscars off the back of the makeup you didn't do on him. The makeup award for makeup in fucking zombie movies goes to whoever did Darcy's makeup.
Because he was a fucking mess. Like, literally stopped speaking for 10 minutes and just left the podcast.
He walked off the podcast mid-podcast and then went and sat on the couch, and we were just looking at him laughing, and he's like, dude, I think I'm going to vomit. So he gets up to walk out of the room to go and vomit, and then can't make it to the door and has to sit down again.
And just collapsed. And when then was on his side in the fetal position, and he looked, I'm not even fucking joking, if you didn't know the setting, or like, if we all left the room and someone walked upstairs, I reckon you'd think he was dead. Like, I reckon you'd call the cops.
Yeah, you go, oh, we found someone dead upstairs.
Someone's died up here. He looked like a dead body.
He's still breathing, but it doesn't make sense. So I'm pretty sure he's just actually dead, and it's just the body's like final
Yeah, it's given its final.
It's given its final
It's
thing.
like the final hurrah.
But he's done.
He's done. He's dusted.
But the potty that we did with them comes out tomorrow, Tuesday.
So give it a listen.
10 a.m. Give it a listen.
That was good fun. And then fucking Kempy rolls in, and then the meet and greet happens, which was great. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. But there was a lot of fucking dribblers there. A lot of dribblers. So shout out for firstly coming to say good day, and secondly for like some of you lined up for a long time, like almost 3 hours. So I respect the fuck out of that.
They had to cut the line off because people downstairs, the bars couldn't operate because there were so many dribblers waiting to come say good day. That was overwhelming in a great way. It was like, holy shit.
In a very nice way.
That is wild. And fucking where they were coming to meet us, they were like standing behind glass and we were on the other side of it. Or like that's where it was taking place. So they'd been like waiting outside there for a period of time. So when we came out, the glass was all like fogged, like it was these zombies on the other side. It was like all wet,
it was dripping
from
wet,
breath, water droplets and shit. You're like, oh my god, dude, this is insane.
But we met some good dribblers. It was good to fucking shoot the shit. The Hinge dribblette was there.
Hinge dribblette.
Shout out to her. That was special.
Yep. A couple of real OGs in their midnight blue
Dude,
hats.
we saw two midnight blues.
Primo midnight
one of
blues.
them, they were both in mint condition, but one in particular was in mint condition. He's like, bro, I don't really wear it. Like, it means a lot to me. Like, he was like, I keep it in a box, I think he even said. I'm like, dude, it shows. That thing is unbelievably immaculate. That was nice to see. I like seeing the midnight blues out and about.
There was, we didn't see him, but Ironside was up there in his bloody baggy green, was doing the rounds.
Flex.
That baggy green's starting to get nice and worn on Ironside. He brings it out a fair bit. It's gonna look like fucking punters.
It'll look like, which is also a flex.
Yeah, it's a huge flex.
Which is a massive flex. There was like French dribblers and shit there, dude.
Yeah, shout out to the French guy. Look, he's asking that we dedicate 10 minutes a week to Catalans. That won't be happening.
No, it won't. In fact, we won't be speaking about you again, but but know that you got this. But
it was nice. It was great to meet you, and
but know
great
that
to
you
know
got
we got
this.
a French
You got this
guy that listens.
Yeah.
Listen.
We love our Frenchies.
Love our Frenchies, and we love Catalans. We love crumpets, but we probably won't be dedicating 10 minutes a week.
Well, it just seems like a bit much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It seems like a long time. Too long.
To satiate the appetite of one French guy.
All we can promise is that we'll just keep dribbling and yarning for you, bro. But that's probably going to be it. You know what I mean?
The extent of what we can
I hope that's okay. I hope that's fine. But
he'll be fine with that. He'll be fine.
Don't you reckon he'll be okay?
I reckon he'll be all right with that. I didn't go to another game of rugby league though, Eddie. I can tell you that for free, and I'm not disappointed with that either. I think that's probably the way that should play out. I watched my team, we got pumped, and then it was like,
we went up there to dribble and yarn and fucking hang out with punters dribble. That's what we went.
That's it.
And that's what we did. That was the whole point of the exercise. It was just like
we never got up, kiss babies.
We never got up to Brisbane to meet those north. Like obviously people came up from all over, but we'd never been north of the border to say good day. So that was the point of the exercise, to flop about.
And rip and tear with the P's and D's.
And also, in truth, we wouldn't have been able to go on Saturday even if we'd wanted to, because we organised everything basically on Thursday.
Well, that was the reason we couldn't, to be completely honest.
Which
but I
wouldn't advise if you're going to go to Magic Round, and I'll tell you why. Because you're going to get rinsed.
You're going to get rinsed.
Flights will be 10 times more than they should, and a com's going to be fucking pretty out there.
A com will sting you.
Oh, it stung. It stung in a big way.
Yeah, it stung. It stung like 1,000 bees on the dick.
But I can't ever see us being weeks, if not months out organised. I just can't really see that.
No, the only thing I might do, or at least look to do this next time, is just know that we will go to Magic Round again next year and book it way out.
What I'm saying is, like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
Thank you.
But I don't think we will.
That's a fair point.
I
tend to hold the same beliefs. Tell you what, the cabbies in Brisbane can get fucked. I'll say that respectfully. These pieces of shit. Again, I know that everyone's like trying to take their pound of flesh off of us, interstate people coming in and people just trying to rip and tear. Motherfuckers would, when we'd get in the cab, they'd be like $80 anywhere, up front, And on one of the nights I paid it because we'd been waiting for a cab.
But that's why he's asking, mate. Fucking, it's like almost a throwback to the old cross nights. Where they're like,
exactly
where are you going? Are you going east? Nah, fuck off. And they just wouldn't give you a list before Uber. You remember that?
Yeah, I used to.
And
When
you'd have to lie. You go, I'm going north and go, can we drop a mate home first?
That's what I'd do with Steph. I lived right next to the cross and she lived in Rosebery around here, actually. And I'd go, we're dropping me off, then dropping her off. And then so we just get to my place and I go, you want to come with me? And she go, okay. And they go like, hey, fuck you. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you, dude. You're trying to rip us off. But those guys in Queensland were really being dicks about it.
Hell of a fucking weekend. Shout out to the punters, shout out to the dribblers, shout out to Campy.
Shout out to the casino, club.
Shout out to Caxton, shout out to Bloody Brewing Beers, shout out to Tobler, shout out to Seb.
Yep.
Shout out to me.
Sebo had a big birthday up there.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to me, yeah. Sebo turned
33.
33.
Getting old, bro.
Getting
old.
Not like us youngins. Not like us youngins.
Shout out to the dribbler that refused to accept the fact that he wasn't scope.
Yeah, that's right. Some guy came up to Sebo and was like, scope, want a photo? And he's like, I'm not scope, dude.
And he's like, yes, you are, cunt. Like, why are you lying about it? He's
and
like,
then he came back again and was like, oi, can I get a photo? He's like, no, dude, I'm not fucking scope. What is wrong with you?
No, but in the end, he had to just accept it and take the photo with this guy. And he's like, we'll just figure it out later that I'm not scope.
That is so good.
Fucking hilarious.
That is so funny.
But Magic Round, big vibe. Huge vibe.
Huge vibe.
Licking our fucking wounds yesterday, dude. I got off the plane. Elsa picked me up. Thank you, darling. Had to go to her grandfather's 92nd birthday, which was great, but I wanted to get horizontal, and I couldn't.
Yep.
And that's fine. Got through that and ordered a really smacky meal. It was smacky as fuck.
What'd you get, buddy?
I got a truffle carbonara, and it was a big day, bro. It was a huge day. But sometimes you just want to be put in a coma.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to bury yourself deep within. And that's what a truffle carbonara offers.
Yeah.
It offers a guaranteed shortcut
to Coma Town.
To Coma Town, dude.
But
now I feel great. So
I don't.
there's
You
something
feel good
in that.
today? It's fucking
oath I do, dude.
I feel awful.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
I feel awful.
I woke up sprightly.
Oh, dude, I did not.
I woke up sprightly, bro.
I got home. I fucking really missed the babies. I was like, fuck, I just want to get home. Maybe that's because I was feeling sorry for myself licking my wounds. Well, not just, I mean, your fucking kids, you miss them. But
Well,
it
exasperates it.
I think
Is that
the
the
Andrew
word?
Symonds thing rocked me a bit as well. We'll talk about him in a bit. But, like, it was just like, I just wanted to get home. But then when I got home, Steph's like, Zoe needs to sleep, and I've got to, like, we've had some family dramas over the weekend, sadly, as well. And so she had a bunch of shit she needed to do. And so she was like, wait, can you just like take him so I can get some stuff done? And so I had to strap Zoe to my chest in the like carrier so she could have a sleep. And then I'm pushing Evie in the pram and I just had to like take him for a walk around the hills. And I was just so fucking like out of it and in a daze. I was like, how things have changed in 12 hours. I was at the casino, but moments ago, eating fucking a weird pizza with chips and aioli, which is criminally overrated, as we've already acknowledged. And now here I am, and Evie's like, let me out of the pram. I'm like, bro, I can't. I need you to sit in the pram while Dad pushes you so that I can get Zoe to sleep, and I need you to stop yelling. It was a fucking nightmare, but one that is nice still, but I'm just trying to make it sound nice. I know Steph will hear this and she'll be like, oh, I was doing it all weekend. I'm like, I know you were. I appreciate you, but fuck me. That 45 minutes you gave me was a tough one. Some guy send us a message because I put it up on our stories. I go, just back to being the world's greatest dad. Some guy put in the story, he goes, dude, how much household debt have you accrued over the fucking last week going from Newcastle boxing into a Magic Round weekend? I'm like, yeah, dude, I think I've racked up a fair bit of debt. I think that's why you see me out pounding the pavement right now. I got to make up ground.
And explains why a trip that we sort of penciled in for next week has been Swiftly can.
Yeah, we did have another trip on the cards. Work based, but still a bit of a piss take.
Trip nonetheless.
Yeah, and not super necessary.
No, indulgent as
Yeah,
fuck.
not super necessary. So
Not when we're going the week after.
well, exactly. But anyway, so we had dinner, and then Steph was going. She had to leave at about 6, and she called me and she goes, "Did you order a fucking pizza after we've had dinner?" I'm like, "No." But there's this place called Society Pizza in Bondi, and
Shout out to it.
delicious. She's like, she didn't believe me. She thought I'd sneakily Uber Eats the pizza, and I was waiting for her to go, and then I was going to eat it, even though we'd had dinner, which in hindsight probably was a good idea if I had thought of it. But it was just like one of the neighbours who'd ordered it, but they never picked it up. So she was like, "There's this pizza just sitting up here, like hot as hell, with no like address, no receipt, no name, no nothing." And after she left, I didn't take it, but it was on my mind for a long period of time about just knowing, and I could see.
Did you go check on it?
I could see the bins from the living room, like up to where, and I just would pop the head out and be like, "Fuck, it's still there." She's like, "There's some fresh burrata there as well." And I'm like, "Oh my fucking God, dude, I want to go and
Was it
steal."
there this morning?
It was there when she got home at like 11, so they'd forgotten. Daddy could have pounded it.
I love a camera from outside your house, like
Watching me just
fixated on the window, just seeing you like
my head just pop
just
out.
popping out to check on its fucking status.
Still
around.
there.
And just licking his lips every time.
Ooh, salivating.
I was
dude.
thinking about it. I thought better of it, and I'm glad I did because I don't want to be stealing pizzas. I'm not in that racket yet.
Whoa,
Yet.
Yet. Well, proud of you for showing heaps of self-restraint.
I
Nice.
know, dude. I'm fucking really
Clearly
good.
not as much shown this morning. I come in and I just see Tom working his way through a fucking sausage and egg, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
If we can be honest, I think it was a Mighty McMuffin,
Okay.
which had a bit of bacon on it.
Was it slimy? Was it all right?
Dude, it was actually really good. Now, I have every intention of actually exercising today, but I needed that.
I bought my gear. Did you bring your gear?
No.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
What's on the whiteboard?
The 17th, which is tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, so I fucked the dates up.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going a day early, baby.
So am I, but
That's
I'm
my
just not
commitment.
doing it with you.
That's
not
I
today,
don't want to do it with you because I just want to do it at my own pace.
No, well, sometimes we do it together. I think we do, but today.
No,
I'm
but
not
I mean
doing it
today.
with you.
I
No.
I just want to run at my own pace.
I want
which
to do
will
it
be
on
a
my own
meandering.
terms. Yeah, I just don't want to be,
I want to meander.
Yeah, I think I might do some stairs at my house. But
That's probably enough.
yeah, the indulgence. I just wanted to give some context as to why you found me pounding a Mighty McMuffin with a hash brown in it and a large coffee. Is that I probably haven't had much sleep either because Zoe's getting more teeth by the day. This little fucker might be a shark. I'm not sure. She might be a shark. She's getting that many teeth. And she's not sleeping well. So, am I in the hurt locker twice? Yeah. Am I still here turning up for the punter and the dribbler every single day? Yes. Because that's what we do.
Good for you, mate. I got my 8.
I can tell you got your 8, dude. You walked in with a fucking skip in your step. I'm like, this bastard is well rested. You're
Got me
like, there are those animals. It's like a badger or something, and they try and like badgers. They like eat snakes, and there's a certain snake that's venom knocks it out, but it doesn't kill it. So they get bitten, and you would think that it's dead, but it's not. It just is like goes into a deep sleep for like a few hours, then wakes up and it's good to go. That's like you with a truffle cup carbonara. It would kill most people, but it just knocks you out for 8, and then you're up the next day just ready to rip.
So that's my advice for the week. If you've got a bit of badger about you,
Yeah.
fucking ship in a truffle carbonara, dude, and just fucking knock yourself out, and you'll be right as rain the next day.
You'll get us 8 straight.
You'll get 8 straight, literally 10:45 to 6:45 neat. Thanks for coming.
Didn't move. Same position you're in when you fell asleep.
Oh God,
Yeah. Shadow Realm stuff.
Shadow Realm, brah. Should we talk some sport?
Yeah,
don't we,
it's
old mate?
probably time, bro.
Fucking oath, brah.
Before we talk rugby league, Andrew Symonds obviously He died 2 days ago yesterday. Awful car crash. I don't know. There's not much to say, man. It's just fucked up.
Well, other than it's fucking devastating. Another loss for Australian cricket.
Yep. He had 2 kids. That's what was rattling me yesterday. I was like, I just want to go home. It just fucked me up. I saw a photo of him and his kids, and I was like, this is so sad.
With Rod Marsh, was it?
Rod Marsh,
Shane Keith, Roy. All in like a 2-month span.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I saw Tubby like tweeted something and it was like everything happens in threes, and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about, threes? And they said Rod Marsh, and this might sound fucking wildly insensitive, but I just don't. Obviously, it's sad that Rod Marsh died, and in threes, that's obviously what he was talking about. But I was just like, oh fuck, is there like another young Australian cricketer who died before their time that I wasn't aware of?
I think, Rod passed before his time, I think.
I guess so, but I just mean he's an older guy. Shane and Roy is like, it's a serious fucking what is going on.
Roy was in his 40s.
Yeah, he's 46, dude. 46.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
And
we interviewed him.
We did.
He was a good man.
I enjoyed that with Roy.
Just a laid back, relaxed dude, but he was like a good chat.
Yeah, he was great, but very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. Obviously, commiserations to his family.
Yeah.
But that 3 thing, dude, it holds up often.
Well, yeah, I don't like the 3 thing. I
don't like it either.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all. But like people were saying it after Shane. People were saying it.
Were they?
Yeah, bro. People were saying it.
Oh, fucking hell. I said, don't say that. Jesus.
But I understand that.
Yeah, no,
but they're
I know.
just like, they say it because
because it's sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it happens.
I get it. I don't like it. But yeah, dude, he was one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorites.
he was a vibe, dude. He was fun to watch.
Fun to watch. He seemed like he was fun off the field. Just seemed fun. He made cricket fun.
He averaged 40 in tests.
Did he?
Yeah, dude, which is fucking handy.
Did he really?
Yeah, bro, fucking handy. Fucking handy.
I know he was great,
Win
right?
one World Cup or two?
I don't know that either. But
he won a World Cup, you know what I mean?
could field his dick off.
Oh, fuck yeah. He could put on shots.
Put on shots.
Loved his fishing, loved his rugby league football. A proud Queenslander. A big loss.
They don't come prouder than Roy, Edward.
Dude, he was proud as fuck.
No, he was proud.
He was fucking proud.
But yeah, because he was so close to Warney as well, and like you sort of were following along him talking about Warney and publicly dealing with the loss of Warney, and then for just like
Well, I went to his
freaked me
Instagram and
out.
his last post was about Warney, and you just like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
That's
dude.
what freaks me out when you see. I don't know, dude. Just sometimes things like that. It did with Warney, but almost more so with Symonds. They're like, life can just come out of fucking anywhere and just.
Yeah.
And because like Warney's one heart attack, maybe lifestyle, like, can sort of contribute to it, which is obviously all fucked. But the absolute sort of just nothingness of a car crash where you're just like, Jesus, dude, you can just be nipping around the corner, like you just never know. It freaked me out.
You almost can't dwell on it for too long.
No, dude, I had to keep distracting myself.
Because it makes things a bit real.
Yeah,
Too
very real. Very real. Very real. Anyway, we'll leave that there. Shout out to Roy.
Shout out to Roy. Rugby League?
Yeah, mate. Rugby League. And when we do talk Rugby League, Edward,
Yeah, man.
it's thanks to our good friends at KO, the only place to watch Rugby League, the home of Rugby League. All games live, ad-free, during play.
Listen, if you still haven't got a KO account, this is the week. This is the week to do it.
I don't believe that anyone listening doesn't have one. There you go. I said it. But if you don't, fuck you, get it. I just can't imagine it.
It's hard to imagine, but it's true. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is true. Like, we know how many subscribers they've got, and it's not all of Australia. So I'm just like,
It should be at least 25 million, right?
It should be. There should be as many accounts as there are people in the country.
Well, that's 25, isn't it?
It's almost 25, I believe. That would be my opinion, Tom.
Yeah.
That would be my opinion. Now, knowing roughly what the subs are, people need to start lifting. Go on the big lift
Time
and
to
start
lift.
making smart decisions to improve your fucking life.
Now,
Improve your life.
Manly...
Not having KO is like not owning a washing machine.
Yeah, you're going to fucking wear dirty clothes, are you, sicko? Manly, Eddie. Manly, worst performance of the year. Fucking disgraceful. No way to sugarcoat it. I fucking hated it. Adam Reynolds was amazing.
Yeah.
But that is not a 38-0 butt fucking.
Look.
He was amazing. He wasn't 38-0 butt fucking amazing.
Look, Manly didn't perform well. It's as simple as that.
We got it on good authority. Des ripped him a new arsehole.
Yeah, well,
I hope he did.
Apparently he ripped the whole club. Everyone involved. Trainers, strappers, fucking physios,
from
people
top
that
to
run
tail,
the fucking
just
water.
an absolute ripping.
Everyone got worked deep within.
Cat of nine tail stuff.
And and they needed it.
Yeah.
And they fucking needed it. 38-0.
I think he whips, you know, like cat of nine tails was what they used to use, I think, in the convict days of Australia. They may have done other places, but I do remember learning about it at old Sydney town when I was a young pup. I think Des just whips his hair. So he comes close to him and just fucking whips his mullet on their back. They've got to take their shirt off and then he just smacks them with their hair.
Yeah. It's called a Desi.
Yep.
Cop a Desi. I'm here for it. I think that it's what I trust. Des knows what's required to pull us out of this slump.
Yeah.
And by slump, I mean 38-0 against Brisbane at Suncorp in Magic Round.
Yeah.
Where we didn't offer a goddamn thing. A goddamn thing. We're leaking points, dude, which I'm not around at all.
The 0 is bad. 38. I think the 38's
really
the worst
bad.
bit.
That's really fucking bad.
The defense sucked ass. Sucked ass, bro. There was one, I think the Corey Oates' second try, where I think the half just turned it back on the inside, gave him like an inside, is it called an inside ball? I don't know what the fuck. And the hole was so big to run through, but it was like he didn't have to do anything. You and I could have run through that, Eddie.
And would have.
Fucking oath he would have.
Because we can run along.
Probably quicker than Corey would have.
Well, Corey's pretty slow now.
But Magic Round, Friday, 8:30, the eyes of the world are on this game, and they just did fucking nothing. And I think it's in no small part to those black jerseys they were wearing, which are fucking disgraceful.
I don't understand why a team needs an alternate strip.
You can have an alternate strip if you're away or you're up against a team that's got like, you know, a similar colour or a different colour, but like wear the white jersey and Broncos can wear the maroon.
Which is what they wore.
It's right. Or we wear the fucking maroon and they wear the white. It's our fucking home game technically up there.
Exactly. So I'm really fucking confused why we were wearing that black.
That seemed to be a sponsor job. I hate that.
Why would you wear black on Friday the 13th?
Ever thought about that? Did anyone ever cover that off?
Why? Surely there's someone at the club who
is in with the Mystics.
Like, if you don't have a Mystic advisor in rugby league football, then I don't know what the fuck you're like.
If you spend all the money on high performance, which you should, and you're going to skimp on fucking Mystics advisory?
Roosters won a comp using a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Like rugby league is closely associated with mystics and omens and patternry and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, the woo-woo, dude.
The woo-woo, that's exactly right. That's what I'm looking for, the blanket term woo-woo. To not recognise that wearing black jerseys on Friday the 13th is going to invite disappointment into your life is highly alarming.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's highly alarming.
And I'd say that's probably what had Des most rattled was he was like, how the fuck did we miss that? Who's the minister for woo-woo here? Well, you've just been fired. You should have seen that one coming and you didn't. You're not good enough.
I don't know who Manly's minister for woo-woo is.
Maybe they don't have one.
And if they don't have one, we're here to do it. Run that sort of shit by us and we can advise you on what
what to do and what might come back to bite you from a sort of, you know, dark arts perspective. I just don't think that you can discount the impact that had. And whilst, many people are saying Manly was shit, I'm saying, they were shit, but it was largely to do with the fact that they were wearing black jerseys on Friday the 13th. We're not happy about it. We're not here making excuses for it. It's not an excuse, it's a reason. That excuses the performance? No, but it's the reason for it.
It's the cause.
It's the cause.
Look, we know we lost. We're taking our licks. We understand all that. We're just saying how do you argue that? How can you honestly tell me that wearing black jerseys on Friday the 13th isn't a fucking good idea. Like, how can you not tell me that?
The only, I guess, like solace, Eddie, that if you and I could take any, which was difficult, especially being there and being licked half to death personally, but if there's any solace to be taken, it's that no team has won during a Magic round and gone on to win the comp. So
that's solace number one.
That's solace number one, is that, you know, comp's still alive for us.
Solace number two is the last time Manly were kept scoreless in rugby league football was in 2013, the year we made the grand final and we would argue won the comp.
But we did.
So think about that. Think about that.
So they're the two pieces of solace, quantums of solace that we have.
And sometimes you need to just put some quantums of solace in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Just to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
To keep your mind at ease.
Yep.
Because times may seem tough, but if you've got quantums of solace in the back pocket, they don't seem as tough.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Now, I liked seeing the Storm get humped near to death by the Panthers. I haven't seen the game because I was doing some ball gag free ripping and tearing.
We were sort of watching it.
I don't remember
really.
it.
It was on the telly.
Yeah, it was on the telly.
It was on the telly.
It was on the telly. I wasn't paying attention. Souths, this made me feel good. Sebo had Souths with the start.
Yeah, 6.5 points.
6.5 points, and they were up 32-0, and he was just early crowing his cock off, and then the Warriors came back, and it was like 36-32. That was nice.
It was 32-6.
Yeah.
It was 32-6, and the line was 6.5 points. Like that. That's as home and hosed as you can possibly get. And then they lost a man, did they? I think a man went to the bin, possibly.
Yes, I do remember. Yeah, Damien Cook got sin bin with about 7 minutes to go, and they were still like 14 points behind, I think, at that point. And then they scored 2 tries, but they were still 2 points away.
Like it ended up 32-30. Like they almost fucking butchered that thing. Very odd. I think in rugby league terms, Tom, you'd say that they went to bed early.
Yes.
Is that the term I'm looking
Prime
for?
possum.
Put the Q in the rack.
Hey? Put the Q in the rack.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
Pool table reference.
They put the Q in the rack and they got fucking bitten for it. Back to the Storm. Yeah, they lost. Jerome Hughes was out. Pat was out.
Grant got he got a head knock early. He still kept playing, but...
You know, like the stars didn't really align for them necessarily.
No.
I'll say this. Rugby league in this season has been a mongrel to pick.
It's been tough. That's kind of what's made the season good, actually.
Like, who the fuck saw Manly losing? No one.
one.
Who's, like, the Storm, you could argue, like, I was
Roosters
on the Panthers.
beating Eels.
No one saw that coming.
I had Raiders to beat the Sharks. I'll take that.
Did you really? Oh,
yeah,
you did.
I did.
That's
I went
only because of
opposite
me.
you. Yeah. Well, it's not because of you. It's in spite of you. But, yeah, certainly I went on them to win.
You didn't go on them to win. You had them with the start. Liar.
Yeah, that's still... I picked them.
Not the same thing.
I'm not saying it is the same thing. I'm just saying I was on the Raiders, which I was.
No, your bet got up. You're on the Raiders, but you on the Raiders with the start. You weren't on the Raiders.
I was still on the Raiders.
You're on the Raiders with the start.
Doesn't matter. Still on them. You can get specific as you want. I don't care. I wasn't on with the start. I was still on them though.
No,
wasn't I?
I'm just making sure that that's preference.
Well, it is. The bet didn't get up because I also had Rapana and he didn't score. But I was on the Raiders
With the start.
with the start. But I was on them.
With the start.
Oh no, make no mistake. The start was included, but I was on them.
Yeah, with the start.
Yeah. Correct. I was on them.
Yeah, with the start. Now, at the end of the day, with the start. Like, we could sit here and talk about how fucking the Cowboys are still full cream milk and, like, the West Tigers suck. Shout out to Rain Man who doesn't get rugby league, who thought the West Tigers were going to win. Like,
Yeah, idiot.
dude, shut up. You don't get rugby league.
Idiot.
But there is a narrative, there is a story, there is something that we do need to cross off our list that is possibly the only thing I really give a fuck about out of the weekend.
Yep.
Now, the Bulldogs go down to the Knights, who break their 7-game losing streak and get a W against a Bulldogs outfit that just stinks.
Yep.
It's stunk for fucking 2 years. They're a big double back-to-back spoon chance. Nothing's clicking, nothing's working, nothing's vibing, nothing.
Stunk to high heaven.
Nothing's coming off. Now, in a stroke of good fortune, as the podcast has been going this morning, Monday the 16th, Trent Barrett has quit. Now, he's quit to save a bit of personal fucking face and avoid being sacked. They're having a crisis meeting this morning at the Bulldogs. He was going to get the arse. What's funny about this is we have been covering on this podcast for the last probably month about how Phil Gould's been having his way with Trent Barrett.
Yeah.
He's been bending him over and he's been inserting anal beads. Now, it's clear to me that Trent said, I can't take an 11th.
No, yeah. Gus was like, oh, you got any more room in there?
And he said no. And he said, well, if you don't take an 11th, you're out.
I'm pulling them all out.
And he goes, well, I can't have that, so I'm quitting. It's what's funny about it, Tom.
There's no way he quit, though, just so everyone knows.
No, I'm just saying what's been reported.
Yeah, no, but as in what's happened.
Of course he didn't quit. He didn't want his job anymore?
They've said, we're going to give you this amount of money and you can say you quit,
Yep.
or we'll sack you and it'll probably look way worse for you.
Exactly.
Even though everyone knows, so it's still fucked.
Exactly. Is that on 100% footy last week, I think.
Well, last week or the week before, but yeah.
Recently, Phil Gould was asked about the training issue and all that shit, and he was like, you know, man, I was just, he invited me, he gave me the whistle, and we've been over it. We all know the yarn. What was funny in that same show is he said that Trent Barrett will be there long after he's gone.
He's the long-term coach for the Bulldogs.
And it's just like, mate, you talk a lot of shit.
Last week as well, he got he was saying...
Because he was like literally... Like, you saying that he's going to be there long after you go, it's just not in line with what's happened.
No, but also he said to Danny Widler last week, Danny of Blocked Us on Twitter fame, of back to his best getting in shot fame, he was like, Danny was asking if there's any truth to the rumours that they were looking at a Munster potentially, but he just kept going, you media, you're all lies, where'd you hear that from? You just made that up, that's not true, it's all lies, and was kind of like, I don't know what
he shut him down quickly.
Yeah, I don't know what his relationship is with Danny and whether it was sort of like good-natured sort of bantery or whether he was like, shut the fuck up, Danny. I couldn't tell because I don't know how they are. But it was like very high horsey from Gus, and yet he's clearly full of shit when he wants to be. And I don't care. It's rugby league. But like the way he was sort of speaking was sort of almost like holier than thou. It's like, Gus, bruh, come on, bruh. Like, he's the biggest wool pull of all time. When you come out and say that Trent Barrett's going to be there long after you go, it's almost insulting.
Well, that's where I'm just like, it's laughable. And then he has such an issue with the media and says that they always misrepresent it and shit.
Yeah.
Like, he was going poorly. Like, obviously he was going poorly. Very poorly. He's got a 15% win rate or some shit at the Dogs. Like, fucking appalling. But to sit there and say that he's going to be there long after you go and then 2 weeks later he's gone, like, you can see how that
how's anyone going to...
doesn't translate.
I wonder, though, because Gus will fucking come out and say that it wasn't his decision. I bet my dick hole.
But like, he would have the biggest say in the fucking room.
Of course he does. He was not allowing Cole Flanagan to play.
If he said he's staying, he would stay.
He literally...
needs to green light that decision.
He literally was picking and choosing players for the side.
He has the final say would have been with him. The final say.
They paid him to come to the club for this sort of shit.
Now,
who are the Dogs playing next week? Because they'll win.
Tigers, spoon bowl.
Dogs win. Dogs win.
I wonder if Phil coaches them this week.
I wouldn't mind that. Phil sent all the players home from training, said Trent's fucking... I bet you they're all stoked. Not necessarily... They might like Trent, but just going, fuck yeah, let's get home. Day off.
And it was like, apparently everyone was shocked. I'm like, no, they wouldn't have been.
No, they weren't. It's funny though, right?
How would you be shocked when Phil starts taking over training sessions, bro? Like, the writing was on the wall. It has been on the wall for a month. Like, the moment, people that have been around rugby league long enough, when the moment Phil Gould took over a training session, they're like, this is the fucking death march.
Yeah.
He's on death row now.
But
it's only a matter of time before he's fucking put down in the chair.
Also, like, how leaky the Dogs are in that basically from the moment they lost to the Knights, it was like the media was reporting he was fucked, and it was like, so the people, there's so many leaks inside of clubs. It's so counterproductive to what they're trying to do, which is like get shit done, operate well, keep it quiet, and you see the difference between good clubs and bad clubs with the leakiness of their ships.
But it's hilarious because obviously internally, even though Gus is sitting there saying he'll be there long after you go, he's already set an ultimatum, which is if you don't beat the Knights, you're gone. In the background, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if we lose to Newcastle. But, like, Newcastle are a better team than the Dogs. That's why I don't think it's even that – doesn't even make that much sense to me. It's like, I think Newcastle are a better team than the Dogs, and them losing to – even though they're in a bad form, like, even them losing to them, I'm like, well –
It would be fucking deflating being Trent Barrett, who this is your second go at coaching a first grade side.
I'd say to be his last.
It's probably going to be your last. Everyone says how good of an assistant coach he is, an attacking coach. It would be humbling to know that you're not up to it. Or maybe he thinks that he is and it's a circumstantial thing, but the reality is he doesn't appear to be up to.
Yeah, I wonder
coach.
what, like, in a truthful moment, whether he'd be like, yeah, mate, maybe I'm just not fucking good at talking to players, or whether he'd have, like, an excuse.
Again, you get very little visibility to any of this shit, so it's impossible to know. But he was fucking praised out the arse when he was at Penrith. You know what I mean? Like, he's obviously a good assistant coach, but that step up's a big one.
Dude, he's too hot. He's too hot, and he was too good a player. Usually, the better the player you are, the harder it is for you to be a coach, because it's like you can't get across to these players who are shit compared to you how to play well.
Yes, which is
do what I could do.
Which is sometimes the knock that they put on Joey when he's worked with halves. It's like, yeah, because it's a genius trying to convey his genius.
It's like someone trying to speak to an ant. It's like you don't have the same language capabilities. Sorry.
It just doesn't work.
Or just general intelligence. Obviously, an ant is an ant and a human is a human, but you get
I get your point, Tom. I'm across it, and I'm with you.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
Thank you so much.
But where to now for the Dogs? Surely they have got their eyes on Flanagan. I don't understand how he isn't coaching a fucking first grade side. It doesn't make
the only reason it
doesn't make sense to me.
Would be, I mean, him coaching his son.
So what?
Well, there's no issue.
He fucking won a comp with the Sharks with the team he built.
No, I agree. I like Shane Flanagan. I think he's he is such a better option for them than Trent actually was. It was just that I don't think that. Well, Shane wasn't even available when they signed Trent, but like as if you wouldn't be going for Shane. You and I have been saying that for ages, going, where the fuck's Shane at?
I don't know where Shane is. It doesn't make any sense to me that Shane's not coaching a first grade side.
So 2 days ago there was an article that said Shane Flanagan has been announced as the coaching director for Papua New Guinea, which I don't know if that's a full-time, like during the season job, but obviously working up to the World Cup at the end of this year, he'll be working with them.
I imagine it's not a full-time job.
And if he gets approached by...
There'd surely be a clause of like, if Trent gets the 11th.
A coach like that, who obviously his ideal position would be coaching the NRL again, I would assume, then you would have a clause in your contract being like, if I get offered something, I'm bouncing.
I'm out, dog.
I'm out. I think... there's no one that is coming to mind that you would fucking have over Shane Flanagan. I don't think.
No. I don't think so.
But he's also never really talked about for new coaching positions, which I can't fucking work out. Has he been banned until recently?
Yeah, but he's back now. We've had this conversation. We have had this conversation.
If he doesn't get the Bulldogs fucking job, I'll be shocked. Shocked. But we'll see. Poor old doggy's fucking hell. Kind of a run.
Oh, so he was banned. It says he was still unable to hold a head coaching role at any club until 2022. So I don't know if that means at the start of this year he would be allowed to.
It would be. I'd say that you probably couldn't have given him a head coaching role before 2022. Well, until 2022, sorry. And no club is going to have a coach that can't fucking do preseason.
Is he banned because of salary cap stuff?
No, because of the doping stuff, wasn't it?
No, I think it was he came back from that, then they won the comp, and then it was...
The doping stuff was before they won the comp.
Yeah, that's what they tell you.
Yeah.
So, okay, I wanted to put this up, because check this out. On the bottom line of Shane Flanagan's Wikipedia article, someone has already edited it to say that he's going to take over from Trent Barrett as the head coach.
Then it says lies.
It also says lies, yeah.
Well, someone maybe updated the lies.
It also said, he's at the Dragons as a list management consultant. I mean, that'd be a fucking couple of hours on the phone every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know how flat out he is doing that.
That's blower work. That's like, I need a phone and some phone credit as part of my job.
That's exactly right. But he'd certainly be my pick, I think, Tom. I think he'd certainly be my pick to take over.
Flano's got a bit of dogs about him.
I think he's got dogs about him, mate. I think he's got a lot of dogs about him. Work with his boy. Bit of symmetry there.
How about the punch on at the footy?
Well,
Biffs at the footy have been getting a little bit more frequent.
Ray Hadley was going hard in the paint on fucking 2GB this morning, saying that apparently they're from
Goulburn.
They're from Goulburn, and that the cops know who they are, and that they'll probably get life bans.
I was wondering about life bans. I've never had anyone look at my face when I'm walking into the footy like, are you one of the guys who've been banned for life? Like, surely you could just still go to the game. How the fuck are you policing
We just
that?
put a little disguise on.
Shave your head.
But supposedly, again, this is one side of the story being reported, that they started lipping up and like saying derogatory comments about this guy's girlfriend. And so he was like, fucking tell them to shut up, and they wouldn't. So that's when they fucking started getting into their work. And because those guys had the high ground, they like... Apparently the guy was lucky not to be in a coma. One of the guys they hit. Again, this is all from Ray, who picks his side of the narrative.
No, I thought the dickheads, as Ray called them, the Goulburn dickheads, they fucked up. They were talking shit to some guy's girlfriend, and then they fucked him up. And then these other guys came and fucked them up.
Right. Well, that's still, you're just elaborating what I'm saying, though.
Oh, sorry, I got confused. Oh, we are watching the footage right now. But apparently these dickheads have history in Goulburn, which wouldn't, like, as in they do this sort of shit, which wouldn't surprise me. But I loved you that they referred to the old boys who fucked them up as the Thicky Avengers, because it was like 3 different thick boys in 3 different jerseys. There's like this photo of like a Knight sticky, a Broncos sticky, and maybe...
Oh, so they're the Avengers.
They were calling them the Thicky Avengers.
Oh, so those guys beat up the Goulburn dickheads?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, so there was sweet vengeance.
I think so.
Dude, punching on in the stands is a big day.
I was saying this. I was like, trying to fall gracefully downstairs at a stadium is nigh on impossible.
It can't be done. Oh, shit. The boys are into it. The boys are into it. Fucking hell, bro.
Wasn't there talk that one of the dudes involved was an ex-player?
No, the ex-player's son.
Oh, it's the ex-player's son.
And he was the one whose misso was getting lipped up to.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. And his dad played Origin, maybe?
That's what it was saying. Just quickly, I just wanted to clarify something on the Thicky Avengers situation with that biff at the footy. I was reading an article, I don't know if it was Mayo Man Buzz, but just before. I don't know who the fuck's the guilty party in this thing. I think just naturally you see dudes with their shirts off with mullets and you assume they're the ones who are lipping up and starting punch-ons. But then by the looks of the article, the dude that was covered in the most blood is a guy who's the son of a former footy player whose misso was getting lipped to. So now I'm wondering if the Thicky Avengers are the agent provocateurs, as it were.
So basically, we don't know.
We don't know. I got no idea, but I felt like it was important to at least point out that we don't know, because that article threw some serious doubt onto who's the culprit. And it does make me now, I don't want to be here, blowing smoke up the arse of the Thicky Avengers if it turns out they're the actual pricks in the situation. So who the fuck knows? Just steer clear of biffing at the footy. I think that's what
I think that's what you're saying. Tom, in a roundabout way. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As you can tell, Eddie and I listen to 2GB, but it is largely for hateful purposes.
Well, it's not hateful. It's for I find it entertaining
how biased they are.
How biased and opinionated these cunts are.
Unashamedly biased. I'm not
and
going
they just
there.
they lean so heavily into one side of the narrative.
But I feel like they lean harder right than any other show that is on leans in any direction.
And our who's our mate? Jim Wilson.
Jim Wilson being the hardest possibly.
I don't know if it's because Jim doesn't care or Jim's been told to do it or Jim hasn't got enough years of experience to be subtle, but like he's just so blatant about his bias.
It's the least subtle radio you're ever going to hear, 2GB, but especially Jim, who doesn't. There's a part of me that feels like Jim is being told to be to go as hard as he goes, and that he probably does believe it, but he doesn't make a good job of making me believe he believes it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, Jim, you're being told to say this. Or you're a little fucking... It's kind of like a level of unhinged to not just Jim, but like the idea that you don't realise how fucking biased you're being.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, does he not realise?
He has to, right?
He'd have to.
You have to. But they all sing from the same song sheet, so there has to be... Obviously, you're hiring people to do what they're told a little bit. But it's just like Jim starts a sentence where he's like trying to make it sound like what you're about to hear is going to be a balanced. Like off the back of a debate where they were just yelling at each other for the whole thing. He started off talking about like, oh, God, how disappointing it was that our leaders just fucking... Our options just... All they did was yell at each other for the debate. And he's like... This was his intro to the show. And then he's like... So I'm gonna discuss this and how we saw it because it was just a shouting match. It was really hard to listen to. And then I was like, oh shit, is Jim gonna say something negative about fucking ScoMo? And then he just fucking didn't say a word about Scott Morrison and just fucking pounded Albanese's asshole for the next 3 hours.
I actually can't wait for fingers crossed next week this time. I'll be on all the conservative radio and TV just watching them try to cope with them losing the election.
I wouldn't even have a clue who's going to win, Dave.
It's already happening, dude. There's these articles that are like, do you know Joe Hildebrand?
Yeah, he weighs 2GB.
Yeah. So he put out this article that said like, Labour voters in Kooyong, which is the Melbourne seat where Josh Frydenberg is. It's like, even though you don't like it, you have to vote for Josh Frydenberg in order to make it better for yourself, even if you're a Labour voter. And it's like, okay, bro.
Because if he doesn't win his seat back, then the Liberals will have Peter Dutton.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Who's evil?
He is evil.
Yeah.
Look, you probably were like, isn't this rugby league? And now you're talking politics. Well, listen here, bruh. If you're new to the podcast, we'll fucking meander from topic to topic.
Yeah, we're basically transients just wandering down a highway and we stop and we pick up something and go, oh, look at that.
Yeah, and we just that's the nature of narrative and yarn. It moves in mysterious ways, much like water.
Yeah. Be like water.
Be like water. Beeth like water.
Shout out to Bruce Lee.
Shout out to him. In terms of rugby league, I don't know if I've missed anything. I don't know if you've missed anything. I don't know if we've missed anything.
Did you see the Cowboys try with the offload when it was going out?
Did you see Tuolangi's fucking pass?
No.
Get it up.
Okay, let me
Get it
get this
up.
up.
This is the greatest. I think, truthfully, it might be the greatest fucking pass I've ever seen.
Even better than Kieran Foran's.
No, not better than that.
Was it who actually scored the try?
Scotty Drink
Drinkwater, yeah.
of Hot Twink. Scotty Drink, the hot boy twink.
Scotty Drink turns me on.
Yeah, Scotty Drink, the hot boy twink. So Tuolangi, Eddie, and for those at home who haven't seen it, who should have seen it but haven't seen it, is getting tackled out.
I was in a carbonara coma at this point.
And you know what? You were better for it. I wish I was with you. Like bloody... That old couple in Titanic who just hug in the bed and drown.
As they're about to drown.
That's what I was hoping for you and me last night. Can you imagine? You and me after a big night. Look at this. So he's, look at him.
Oh my God.
So he's out. Like the way he's got to in the air.
But he's so far out.
While he's in the air having to generate the power for the throw.
And he's fully
hot.
Yeah.
He's fully horizontal in there.
He's fully horizontal. Take it back again. But you know what I mean by generate the power? He's had to, in the air, cock his arm back and throw it.
It's special stuff. Look at this.
I think, walking back my hyperbole because I don't know, but I think it might be like the greatest in the context of like a winger getting tackled out to keep the ball in.
Yes. It's the greatest I'm out of bounds pass ever.
Yes.
Or like I've left the markers of the field.
But like, I'm completely out.
I've left the field parameters. I'm out.
And because usually when someone's doing something like that, they have had the ability to launch off a foot to generate some sort of power to contort their body. He sort of has done that, but he has a guy on his back and has to sort of readjust mid-air.
That is unbelievable. The balance required, Tom, sensational.
Yeah. Anyway,
absolutely sensational.
I don't know if there's anything other than that from a rugby league context, Eddie.
I don't think so, mate. Shout out to Ko. Shout out to Magic Round.
Shout out to Ko. Shout out to Magic Round. Shout out to Peter Volandis, Andrew Abdo. We should almost send Pete a little fucking cheerio thank you for Magic Round because it was sick. And obviously, next year, if we can roll out a red carpet, we'll walk on it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we sort of got one.
No, but I want one from Pete. I want to go and shake Pete's hand, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah. 100%. Did Pete go?
Let's hope he goes next year. All right, let's dribble.
Tom, Eddie, your punters, dribblers. I've just landed back in Australia from first trip back to Auckland to see the missus family. I go to the toilet upon landing, and there's a 50-year-old man standing at the urinal, pants down, dropped them around his ankles to piss. Surely this isn't on. Surely it's not common. Am I the only one that thinks it? Let me know. Cheers, boys.
I can only think of Gil McLaughlin being the AFL CEO as the only other person to piss with their pants around their ankles.
I pissed next to him at the urinal in the airport yesterday.
Gil. Sydney or Brisbane?
Sydney. When we landed and we were waiting for our bags.
And his pants were around his ankles?
They were, yep.
There you go.
So I can confirm.
Yeah, it's not normal. No, it's a weird thing to do. It's usually reserved for like boys under the age of 6.
Yeah, generally.
You know what I mean? Like I remember when you were a kid and you'd go to urinals, you didn't realise that like pulling your ass out while you did it was you not play on. You learn these things over time.
And also like holding your shirt under your chin when you're a kid.
Yeah, you pull the shirt all the way up.
All the way up.
And look down at it, and your pants, you pull them down below your ass. And
my only theory can be that this bloke has been unable in his life to get his junk properly out, right?
It could be big.
And in doing so, like, there's like the waistband is putting pressure on his junk, and so he doesn't get all of the urine out. And he ends up fucking, when he puts it back in, he wets himself. He walks around in wet undies for the rest of the day.
Like there's a kink in the hose.
There's a kink in the hose. He's kinked his hose so often that he's just now prepared to go, I don't want to kink it anymore, and I'm just dropping everything because I can't cop another kink.
It's interesting. It's certainly not play on.
No, it's not play on. But I'm just trying to put myself in the mind of a man who at 50 years old is going that route.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I remember when it became bizarre to see from people in your own age group, and it was primary school shit. Like, maybe I remember being in year 4 and there was a kid who'd still do it. And he'd be like, standing next to the urinal and you're like, bro, what are you doing? Your pants are off.
What are you doing?
Your pants are off.
What is it you're doing?
But also, do you want your pants sitting on a urinal floor?
What is it you're doing? Very confusing. Very alarming.
Yep.
And yet, here we are talking about it.
Here we are.
Shout out to you, bro. You do you.
Let's move on.
Tom, Eddie, Dave, Tobler, it's the drive proposal without a ring dribbler. I'm back because I'm going to lick you two to death. I fucking tried to tell you. Brisbane beat South, South beat Manly, Brisbane beat Manly. You didn't want to listen to that. We beat Cronulla, Cronulla beat Manly. We fucking beat Manly. Fucking pathetic. Absolutely pathetic display. Broncos 13 plus. Broncos fucking 30 plus soon. Manly never.
Yeah, look, that is fair. He is right. It was a pathetic performance. What he does neglect to acknowledge, though, was Friday the 13th and a black jersey.
He hasn't factored that into the math, which is fine.
It's fine. We didn't play well, but you just can't. It's not nothing.
Well, it's something. So, it's not nothing because it's something. Yeah. Agreed. I agree.
Dip, 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 dip. Oh. Dip, 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 dip. Oh. Dip, 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 dip. Take your licks. Dip, 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 dip. Manly eats dip. Dip, 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 dip. Turbo, where are you? We're 40 points, man, bruh. Turbo, where are you? Manly premierships never, ever.
What tune was that?
Yeah, what song was that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so that was unfortunate for him because it seemed like I feel like he expects that we know what that song is. He expected that to go down better, maybe. It was a licking, but if he's just made it up himself, not a great song. If he's covering it, either he's doing a bad job of that or it's still not a great song. Yeah. I'm taking the licks.
Yeah, we're allowed to take licks in that, but then also give feedback on the performance.
We'll give licks back if
the performance was poor. The performance was poor, and the song didn't make sense.
No,
so there's that.
I did like that he was doing it from his car. I think that's where 90% of dribbles are given.
They're all done in the car, bruh.
You'd half believe that he nipped out of the house just quickly. I left something in the car, and then went and called us and dribbled.
They're all done in the car, bro. All done in the car, bruh. Anyway, I don't know what to say. I've said enough.
I think so.
Boys, this is the Schlong dribbler here, Schlong-time listener, Schlong-time caller. Boys, I want to have a bit of a talk about the ultimate nut trucker, Alex Sausage Roll 12. Now, boys, I think it's his 100th game next weekend or this weekend or whatever, and he hasn't scored a meat pie. And as we know, he's probably one of the greatest nut truckers of all time. And I don't know what his personal relationship situation is, or if he's partnered or, whatever. But could it be the fact that he's busting too much nut off the field, which is making him have less capabilities to truck nut on the field? Boys, thinking about some of the boxers who swearing off nutting, Cambosis and Garside, do you think that the great Alex Sausage Roll 12 should swear off nutting until he gets his first meat pie to give him that extra testosterone to get him over the line? What's your thoughts, boys? See you.
I don't mind it.
Look, I don't mind it. Alex 12 seems like he doesn't have a testosterone shortage. You know what I mean? Just looking at him. Sorry, I'm just getting comfy. So I don't know whether swearing off nutting is what he needs in his life. I don't know whether some people are meant to score tries. Like, if he scores one, great, but it's not his job. His job's just to axe cunts, and I think he's doing that pretty well.
Look,
Truck nut.
We all know people in our lives that just aren't meant to score tries. Oliver Archibald comes to mind. I don't think, scored a try in his entire life.
No way.
And when we were playing Oztag, and he was like, he got a fucking break and was running down the sideline and was destined to score, he put the ball down early. So
he doesn't even score an Oztag.
So no.
Oh
so
my God.
Some people, it's just not in them. Jack Keeping, friend of the show as well, he never scored a try in either junior footy or school footy. Didn't score a try the whole time.
Dude, do you remember the dude, school captain, year above us? His name Burrell? I can't remember his
Angus Burrell?
Michael Burrell?
Michael Burrell.
Shout out to Michael. He never scored a single try his entire life, and then he scored a try on the at home ground with the whole school there, and he turned and ran So, like, he scored a try at the furthest point away from where the crowd was.
Yeah, I remember this.
Turned around and ran the whole length of the field, swinging his arms around the whole, and everyone was pissing themselves laughing.
I remember that.
This guy, it was like his last year of footy or his last game of footy at home, ground, and like it was, he might have been the most excited motherfucker on planet Earth that day, swinging his arms around like he was a windmill. Good for him.
Point is, it's just not in some people's DNA.
Some people, it's not for you. Now, I mean, I've scored hat tricks in games, so it's not a big deal for me. Eddie, you know, your work in OzTag precedes you.
I've scored many, many, many tries.
We score tries, yeah.
Many tries.
We score tries.
And I can't help that.
I scored a hat trick in year 12. We had like
against High, I remember.
But we had like guys in our team who were just so fucking dominant, who scored all these tries. And I ended up, just because I got one, like I didn't score in any fucking games, and then I scored a hat trick against the worst team in the comp. We beat them like 100-0 and became the second highest try scorer in the team for the season from one game against High. It was so ridiculous. And the guy above me had like fucking 10. Anyway, so that's what you get here. Just know that.
I finished our year 12 rugby season as the second top try scorer in our team. Anyone want to guess how many tries I scored?
One.
It was one.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So obvious.
Yeah. There's no way you were scoring more than one.
When I was fucking, I remember when, like in my first year of soccer, when I was a young buck, in under sixes, I was the only person to score a goal the whole season. And I was in the paper.
How many goals?
One.
Oh, right. Sorry, there's only one goal.
We scored one goal in the whole season.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Oh, yeah. Still remember it.
Was it a
It
good
was
goal?
yesterday.
Good goal?
Fucking oath, can't.
Pumped it?
Yeah, bruh.
Eyes must have been working.
Well, it was a fluke.
Yeah.
They came together at the perfect moment.
Yeah, right. It was actually like...
Do you know what I mean? Like they're off spinning and then they spun back.
They just happened
at the very
to.
moment they needed to.
It's a broken clock being right once a day.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to happen as my legs swinging through.
And just connects with the ball. Some call it the greatest kick of all time. The most perfectly timed kick.
Yeah. Sass Purple. Shout out to Sass. Left the next year.
Devo.
Became a wanderer. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
I have to whisper so I don't wake up my baby, but did you know that no team has ever been beaten by the Broncos 2-0 and ever won a premiership ever again?
I hope your kid wakes
How
up.
could you fucking lose it?
Ooh.
That was
fuck. She went hard in the paint.
That was spicy from Mum. Mum went hard.
Mum went really hard.
Mum, I got all the respect in the world
But
for
you're
you,
wrong.
but you're wrong, and I hope that kid wakes up and you have a fucking awful night's sleep.
You don't get it.
I hope that you have an awful night's sleep.
You don't get rugby league.
No.
And it's, I mean, what do you want me to do about that? Some people get it, some people don't. You don't get it. And it is what it is.
And we hope you have a bad night's sleep.
Like we didn't want to.
No.
I didn't think I'd come here today and tell a mum that I wanted her to have a poor night's sleep, but that's exactly what I'm doing.
That's what we're doing.
But you forced me to do that.
You forced our hand. Not a card we wanted to play, but I hope that
Did I want to play that card, dude?
on the hour,
No
every
way.
hour, I hope that your kid lets you just get back to sleep and then starts grunting and grinding again, and then you back up.
Yeah, that's what we hope for you. So,
Yep.
you made your bed.
I've never seen anyone in my entire life chip and chase, which is where Australians are bred. I've never seen someone chip and chase inside their attacking 20.
What was interesting about Manly, I legit never realised, but I always thought there was two Trebojevic brothers. I had no idea that there was actually 0 of them because they're fucking pathetic.
That's just disrespectful.
Sam Walker had a good chip and chase on the weekend, just as a side note.
Well, not Cody, fucking Adam Reynolds chipped and chased his ass off for a try against Manly.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, okay, mate, it was beautiful. He chipped to himself, bounced up perfectly, scored. Basically inside the 10 metres. It was class. Again, though, Black Magic.
What's his question?
Friday, he doesn't have one, mate. That was 2 people for sure. That was 2 people who planned their fucking. I've got a nose hair in this nostril and it's driving me fucking up the wall. Side note.
All fucking noses have nose hairs, dude.
Yeah, but there's one particular one that's driving me up the wall, and I've been trying to deal with it all show, and it's just been fucking annoying me.
What's annoying about it?
It's like it's tickling me somewhere. It's tickling me somewhere, and I don't like it. And maybe I'm easily frustrated on a day like today. I don't know, but it's tickling me, and I don't like it.
Do you reckon that why can't you feel the nose hairs in your nose? Is it because you just got used to it?
I mean, I'm feeling them right now, so I don't know what you're talking about.
But like generally you can't feel them.
But what do you mean? Like you can't feel like the hairs on your arm, just on your arm. They're just there.
Great point, Dave.
Yeah, but why is that? Because they are touching your skin.
Well, because they're like in your skin. Yeah.
But
you're not feeling them come out of your skin.
Like you don't feel your nails.
I don't feel my hair. I don't feel my eyeballs.
But if you touched your arm with another hair, you'd feel it.
Not necessarily.
You don't reckon you would?
Not necessarily. It depends.
Like my point is there's a nose hair that you can feel because it's touching somewhere in your nose, but there's many other nose hairs doing the same thing.
Yeah, but obviously it's one where it's like moving around, so it's irritating me, you know? But like if it's just sitting there being a hair, just like parked up on me nose, won't notice it.
Interesting.
Sort of. How many more, Dave?
We've got 2 more.
All right.
Oh, that's all right. That's pretty good.
We can do 3.
No.
It's just another lick.
Let's just see how we go.
Hey fellas, the porcelain throne dribbler here, and here's my thoughts on Manly.
I thought he was going to shit. I'm glad it was just a flush.
Dell and Throbbo forever, Manly never. Cheers,
Throbbo was good, dude. Throbbo got a hattie, and he looked he looked every bit of rugby league thoroughbred. Throbbo looked super good.
There was lots of Throbbo love on the dribbler hotline in all the licks. There was also far too many people who kept saying Manly 13 plus never, Broncos 38 plus forever.
Yeah, but it's not 38
It's not 38 plus, yeah.
That's dumb Queenslanders, dude. You got to, silly Queenslanders. Yep.
All right, last one.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, Tobler, combo dribbler here. Just thought to call up with a quick dribble to let you know that the podcast is now infiltrated my subconscious. Can confirm that I did have a dream about the podcast last night. Dave, I'll try and keep it to 90 seconds. I'll move as quickly as I can without sparing any details. Pretty much in the dream last night, I'm an intern at Hello Sport Podcast, and Tom and Eddie have given me the assignment of going out and getting them a breakfast sandwich. Now, in the dream, I was pretty stressed out because I didn't want to end up like Dave and bring back nothing that they asked for. So I'm on my way. I'm going to find this breakfast sandwich. Asked some old mate in my dream, hey, where's a good breakfast sandwich? He points me to some kind of, cafe or place, and I head into the cafe, and it seems to be like this massive DIY sandwich place filled with like all this different bread and all these trimmings and all that sort of stuff. So I head over to the breakfast section, and I'm immediately stumped and confused because you guys told me to get a breakfast sandwich, but you didn't tell me exactly what you wanted. And like already in real life, I get pretty stressed and I'm quite indecisive. So in the dream, I'm like stressed and indecisive.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to call the podcast, or I'm trying to call you guys to confirm exactly what sandwich you want for breakfast, because I also don't want to be shot as an intern.
You should
know. I'm stressing out. I can't get a hold of you guys. I make a panic decision. I think the bread options were between like sourdough or ciabatta, and I'm trying to like text you guys. I'm not hearing anything back.
Ciabatta.
I'm getting stressed, and so I end up just getting the sandwich and putting it together. I take it back, and you guys hate it. Particularly Eddie hates it. So I wake up in a cold sweat this morning at like 3:45, and I'm just like dead awake, stressed, and then I realise it's only a dream. I can relax. Me waking up, it's woken up my missus next to me. What are you doing up so early? Had a dream about the podcast. Great 3:45, 4 a.m. chats. And then I wake up my son, who's 10 months and teething. So it's all kind of happening. So, look, I just wanted to share that. The potty has infiltrated my subconscious. And, mate, good content. If it's getting down into your subconscious, that's when you know it's quality stuff. So anyway, round it off. What is your guys' breakfast sandwich of choice? Thanks, fellas. Bye.
Well, there you go. I mean, clearly, and at this stage of your career there, breakfast sambo dribbler, you're not cut out for the gig.
You're clearly not cut out for it, mate, and that's absolutely...
Look, that's fine.
It's fine, but it means you don't have a job.
You don't have a gig here. You don't have a gig.
Listen, mate, I would have been happy if you came back with a bacon and egg roll that wasn't on brioche.
If it was on brioche, you would have been shot on sight, and we would have left your body to rot on the grass outside.
I'll accept,
along with the brioche next to it.
With the brioche next to it.
I'll accept barbecue sauce or like a beautiful tomato relish chutney.
Yep. If you put tomato on it, it's a little bit lowbrow for my brekkie roll. I'll accept it on a day one intern mistake.
Yeah.
But if you were to ever bring me just tomato on my brekkie roll again, you'd be shot and left outside to rot on the grass.
Yep, correct. I don't like bacon and egg rolls that go too overboard and they're impossible to eat. I'm like, I don't want it all over me, bro.
And I don't want avocado on a brekkie roll. If you bring me warm, hot avocado.
No, you'll get shot.
Yeah, you'll get shot.
I want bacon, egg, I'll accept a hash brown, and I'll obviously accept cheese.
I'll absolutely accept a ham and cheese toasty.
Yes,
now,
I will, but again... Beautiful. Needs to be a beautiful relish on there. It needs to be like a beautiful, like an onion relish or a chutney or something like that.
Yeah. We need to have some sort of sauce in there that is going to make me think a bit.
If you're going to bring me back a ham and cheese toasty on white bread with no sauce, you'll be shot again. You'll be shot on sight. It's pure and fucking simple. It's not difficult.
No.
It's not tough. I'll also accept a scrambled egg wrap. I'll also accept that. I love scrambled eggs.
Or just a bacon and egg wrap, generally.
I love wraps.
Yeah.
I love wraps. I like scrambled eggs. I like bacon eggs. I like all that stuff. However, there needs to be some sauce in there that's going to get me going. That's going to make me feel alive.
You need sauce that makes you think, Eddie.
I don't want spinach in there, not on a bacon and egg wrap or roll.
I don't want hot leaves.
I don't want hot leaves. So you can leave your hot leaves at home.
Take the hot leaves and stick them up your ass.
Am I making sense? Am I getting across to you?
We need a hot, it's got to be warm. And it's got to be greasy.
It's got to be toasted.
Toasted.
You bring it back untoasted, shot.
If it's not toasted, dude, if you were to ever step foot into our office, our domain, with an untoasted breakfast sandwich, it would not end well for you.
Shot.
Left to rot.
Shot. Hope that helps, bruh.
Glad we could infiltrate your dreams, though.
Yeah, that was fun.
We loved that. It was fun while we were in there. It was a good time.
Yeah, I liked it.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers, bro.
That's us. We're done.
Bye-bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?